Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Goldenrod Draft League broadcast. I'm your host, Soul, and today we are covering the Week 2 of the F.A.R.M Draft League, featuring the founders of the server and the league, Dash and 27. Now, due to sickness and real-life issues as of late, Merk could not be here for this intro, but he will be apparent in some of the segments of this episode. So we hope you enjoy. Let's go!
Alright, and let's move on to our kill leaders and defensive leaders. And I'm joined today by 27, one of the commissioners of the F.A.R.M League.
Heyo, how we doing?
Alright, if you remember from week 1, I pulled the top 5 kill leaders from the doc and show you their kills, deaths, and diff, and then the defensive leaders are on a week-to-week basis given points based on the hits that they've taken. Alright, so let's move on to the number 5 kill leader this week, and that is Thunderous Therian, with an impressive 4 kills, 0 deaths, with a 4 diff. At 27, what are your thoughts on this mod and how it's impacting the league?
You know I love Thunderous Therian, and I think that it has a very high potential. I think right now it's just kind of done its job generally, but it's always a mod you have to look out for. People kind of underrate it, and they just say like it's not as good as the other Thundy. I think this one's still a massive threat, and anyone who says that it's not, out of their mind.
Right, and it's got the same move pool as the other Thunderous, which makes it incredibly threatening, especially like if you have a fairy type in it, you got to watch out for Sludge Wave or an Acid Downpour or anything like that.
The thing I think that makes Thundy T a little more threatening in my opinion is how just like it's just a little more immediately threatening. Like Spec Thundy T just wrecks house. Agility Thundy T wrecks house in a way that Thundy I couldn't just do. So it's like you just have to, like Thundy T doesn't need nasty plot. It can just agility on you with a life orb, and like if you get some shit, it can just sweep you there.
Right. Alright, let's move on to number 4 here. Next up we have Stakataka, and in week 2 it picked up 4 kills, didn't die with the 4 diff. 27, what are your thoughts on Stakataka?
No comment.
No comment? Oh yeah, that's right. It was used in the game against you.
All I'm gonna say is Focus Blast only doesn't hit when it needs to hit. That's all I'm gonna say. Stakataka does what Stakataka does. You can't kill it. It's gonna set up, trick room, and you're losing at least 2 mon. Sometimes you lose more than that. Not your fault. It's nobody's fault, except for fucking stupid Meloetta missing Focus Blast. That's it.
Right, it gonna do what it do, and you got your little speaker box here.
Yeah, gonna do what it do.
Alright, number 3, we have Entei dropping down 2 places from number 1. It didn't come to a game this week, but it still maintained its 4 kills and 4 diff. What are your thoughts on Entei?
Entei is a mod that I always expect to see in the top 10, but not really like the top 5, top 3 even. It's one of those mods that like when it comes out you're just like, oh, I have to pick something to die now, or like if you don't have a raw resist to it. It's one of those where you just have to pick a sack and it just dies. So
right,
seeing it up here with like 4 kills and no diff tells me that somebody did not have a fire resist. That's what that tells me.
right.
And while I expect to see it do well, it continuing on in the future, I also just kind of like expect to see it fall off a little bit, if for no other reason than like it's Entei and it can be at times inconsistent.
Right, and like I said, this mod was not brought to week 2 match. It was actually the number 1 kill leader of week 1.
Yeah, it picked up 4 kills in 1 game against a very good player who did not play around it very well.
Alright, so let's move on to number 2 now. Number 2, we have Manaphy, picking up 5 kills before it died, and with a 4 diff.
Manaphy's Manaphy. Y'all played ORS. You know Manaphy's Manaphy. If you click tail low, you lose. About it.
Right. Funny enough, Manaphy and Entei are owned by the same coach, being Slayer.
Slayer's dope, honestly. I wasn't a fan at the start of the season. Now I'm Team Slayer. Slayer's dope. At least until we play. I'm just showing what's up. But until then, Slayer's dope.
Right. Alright, and the number 1 kill leader of week 2 is Money's Thunderous Incarnate with 5 kills and 1 death. What are your
Thundy is just like, you know my feelings on Thundy. For those of you who don't, I think it's good but not great. Well, it's great but not like fantastic, I guess. It's like, am I surprised to see it up here? Am I surprised to see this diff? Am I surprised to see this KD? No, not at all. But do I think that it's maintainable? That's entirely up to Money and how he does with this mod. It's also entirely up to how he plans his game plan around it. Sometimes Thundy wants to be the Kobe, wants to get the sweep. Can't always do that. But it's also, sometimes it can, and sometimes you just lose to it. It's in that speed tier where you just kind of you lose lotties. It's in that speed tier.
Right, like you said, sometimes it wants to be Kobe and sweep, but then sometimes it ends up being Shaq and can't hit the free throws when you need him to.
Very, very true. Fewer words are ever truer than the thing you just said to me.
Alright, yeah, just a note, Thunderous only picked up 1 kill in the game this week. It was number 2 last week, and it moved up to number 1, picking up that 1 kill, putting it ahead of Manaphy in the Doc's calculation.
It wasn't even really killed, because in the first week it only died to life orb.
Right.
You can't kill me.
Alright, and moving on to our defensive leaders. As I said last time, in the last video, the points are awarded based on hits taken that they live. If they took a super effective hit, they are awarded 2 points. A neutral hit, they're awarded 1 point. And if they take a resisted hit, they're awarded half of a point. Alright, so the number 5 defensive leader this week is Cena's Cryogonal. It acquired a total of 5 points, taking a total of 6 hits. What are your thoughts on Cryogonal?
Listen, some people want to tell you that Cryogonal is not good, and Cryogonal does not belong on this list. I'm here to tell you those people are lying to you and they are not your friend. Cryogonal is the truth. I've been trying to tell people since 2010. Cryogonal is the truth, okay? It takes hits. It is here to stay. If you think that you could just run a random physical hit to kill Cryogonal and just ignore it, you gotta account for this mon. You have to respect it. Otherwise, this mon's actually gonna sit there and it's gonna take a decent amount of hits, and it's gonna sit there and walls in mons. You better watch out. I know some of y'all don't believe it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
I think a part of the reason that people underrate this mon defensively is because of the ice typing being so frail and being weak to a lot of really common offensive typings.
Well, that's true. It was also like one of the most frail mons in the game for a long time. It's a little better now, but it used to be very bad. Or like on the physical side, it's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It's passable, I guess. Not really passable, but it's got like base 50 defense now.
Right.
It used to be 30. It was bad. It was real bad.
And with this thing having a high special defense and having levitate, this thing has a lot of really unique, well not really unique, really good supportive moves, such as it can set up Aurora Veil, it gets screens, it gets both Rapid Spin and Defog, and it gets Freeze Dry, which is a very important move for ice types.
Freeze Dry is one of the best moves in the game, honestly. I think the best thing about Cryogonal, though, is combining its special defense with speed. It's in a really not like a good speed tier, but it's in a surprisingly good one.
Right, and a lot of people don't really account for that when prepping for it.
I think the combination of that and it being, pretty decently low-key, a lot of people don't account for it, and they just kind of let it go, let it do its thing. And they're not ready for it.
Right, well, let's see. I'm interested in seeing how Cryogonal does in the future. Seeing as these points aren't cumulative, because these points are cumulative, we'd have the same 5 mons every week in the defensive leaders. But like, I'm interested to see if Cryogonal makes another appearance on this list at some point.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing if it will or not.
Alright, moving on to number 4 on the defensive leaders list. We have Florges, which is owned by Nightmare. Now, Florges took a total of 3 hits, acquiring 6 points. It took 3 super effective attacks from Cena.
Florges is one of those mons that, I'm gonna say it, it's like a Latias. It's one of those that takes, like, you can hit it, and it takes, like, you expect 2 KO, and it does, like, 40-something. And then it'll wish on. And then you're just like, oh, okay, I can't kill it. And you kind of expect to be able to kill it later. It's usually how it goes. Or you just fall around and run bands to the sword and just knock it out. Like, it's one of the two. It's very rarely like, you just get a raw 2 KO, and you gotta make a read on Florges just the wall out.
Right.
Seeing it in here, this is exactly the kind of distribution that I expected to see from it, so I'm not surprised at all.
Right, like, it's hard to even bring a solid physical answer to Florges because, like, if you bring a physical poison type like Toxicroak or Garbodor or anything like that, this thing will click Psychic on you and it will kill you.
Absolutely. Well, it'll try. It won't kill you. It'll try.
It'll kill Toxicroak at least.
It'll kill a Toxicroak, but Toxicroak will probably kill it first. You can't switch in on it, but it'll try.
Right. Alright, let's move on to number 3. We have Mega Venusaur, which is also owned by Cena. It took 9, it acquired 9 points and it took 8 hits. What are your thoughts on Mega Venusaur?
I hate Spawn. Spawn's stupid. It's dummy thick for no reason. It always sits down and makes you think you can 2 KO it. You never can. Don't try. If you're not hitting it with something super effective, don't try. You can't do it. Trust me, I've been there. And then it sits there and it sees you and it synthesizes and you think you can kill it. And you sit there waiting to be able to, and you never can. That's Mega Venusaur. So, seeing that it has slightly higher points than Florges, but it took so much more hits, I'm also not surprised. This mon is fat.
Yeah, like it demands that you have prep for it.
Yeah, more than most mods, I'll say this mod demands that you be able to prep for it.
Because
if not, you're just gonna lose to it.
Right. And moving on to number 2. Surprise, surprise, we have Toxapex, which is Money's Mon. It acquired a total of 13.5 points, taking a total of 13 hits. I know you have a strong opinion on Toxapex 27.
I don't have as strong opinion as some people do. However, I will say this, it's very good at what it does. And I can respect its dedication to wanting to win the game by any means necessary. I can respect that. However, you see the points distribution from this to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the hits. You see how they just keep going up. This mon was created to not die. And it always does that, and it's always going to do that. And if you can't stop it from doing that, then it's gonna not die, and it's gonna outscore your whole shit.
Right. Just as a general point, I can predict that Money will have either this or F.A.R M on the defensive leaders list every week.
Yeah, having F.A.R on this team basically guarantees that one of the two is going to be in this list every week because they just work so well together. There's like, you just kind of know that it's going to be there. There's not really much else.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like, you don't really like talking about it. It makes you feel kind of grimy. Just like even putting its name in your mouth, you know. It's just like, oh, Toxapex.
Feels kind of toxic.
Yeah, not even toxic, man. Just like scummy, grimy. Just like that guy who wrote all the answers on the back of his palm so he could cheat on the math test because he didn't want to study. That guy. It's like that same feeling. It's just like you didn't want to try. You just used to Toxapex. You didn't even want to try to win.
Right. And let's move on to the number 1 defensive leader of the week. And that's going to be seen as Latias. Now, this Mon, every single hit that this Mon took was a super effective hit. And if, as you can see, it took 9 hits this week.
Well, as I mentioned before, Latias it sits there and it takes a couple hits, and you think you can kill it, and you can't. And I think this Mon is fantastic at doing what it does if it has to. And if you're not ready to kill it, if you didn't prep for it properly, it's gonna sit there and outstall you for a very long time. And some people just don't prep for it properly, and they suffer the consequences. And am I surprised to see it in here? No, not at all. I feel like it's probably going to be a staple, at least in the top 5, for certain in the top 10, for the rest of this season.
I agree. Like, if it's utilized well, which Cena seems to have a really good idea of what this Mon is supposed to do.
He seems to have a really good grasp of what all his Mons are supposed to do, considering 3 of them are in here.
Right, and then his opponent Nightmare from this week had 1 Mon, so 4 Mons in the defensive leaders from this week were in 1 match.
1 match, Jesus Christ! That's absolutely insane.
All right, and if you were to give a good estimate of what Mons you think would be on the defensive leaders list next week, 27, what do you think they would be?
Either Toxapex or Ferrothorn or both. I'm gonna lock that in. You know, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that I think. Oh, he doesn't even have that one. I was about to say Tentacruel, and I just realized that I doesn't even have it in. I want to say Vaporeon, but it's under new management now. Hopefully, this new user can use it properly. I'm just like really gonna stay in here. I mean, it's kind of up for grabs. A lot of it is. I hope to see Latias back. I don't know if it's gonna stay there though.
I think there's a good chance that Floridas could also be coming back.
I think there's a good chance, but Floridas, I think, is aside from Cryogonal, which is basically matchup dependent, I think that Floridas is the second most likely to fall out.
Right. I want to see some new blood in here, like maybe Necrozma or Slowbro or something like that.
Slowbro's interesting. Slowbro's an interesting case because Nana doesn't really run it super defensively usually. In the past few games, it's all been offensive. So, but that doesn't mean it can't take hits. So we'll just have to wait and see how he chooses to play it out.
Right. All right, and with that being said, thank you for joining us, 27, and let's move on.
All right, everybody. Welcome to this week's segment, In-Depth Analysis, Match of the Week. We have Slayer on one side and Boss Mania on the other for week 2. All right. So on paper, this matchup, the first thing we see is that it's there's Swampert on each side, and there's Rain on one side, and there's also Rain on the other side. So it's Rain versus Rain, double Swampert.
We don't know it's rain yet.
Well, we don't know it's Rain yet, but we know, right?
Yeah.
So we've already watched this game. We're going to go through it for you. We're going to see how it plays out. What do you think? What do you guys think of it on paper, though, as it stands?
I think Slayer made the perfect prep. Like, he predicted the right 6 mons.
Mm-hmm.
He predicted the rain. He has the grass mon to counter a Swampert. He even has a Gengar there as a Chansey check.
Yeah. I mean,
I like that you use check because it is not a counter.
That's true. It's about how it looks on paper, then it's about how you play it. That's two completely different sides of the same coin, right? So we're going to start off. I'm doing this a bit slow, maybe like a normal speed or something. Okay, so turn 1, he sets up Rain, and Gengar goes for Shadow Ball, right?
Yeah.
At this point, we do know that Gengar has no electric type moves. Cause
why do we know that?
Well, we know that because we're analyzing this, right?
Okay.
We get to look behind the scenes. So we see that he has no Thunder move, but Buzzmania doesn't know that, and we as the viewer doesn't know that. Do you think Shadow Ball is going for the right play here?
I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have stayed in if it were me. I would have swapped both to preserve in case he was offensive and he just killed me, and also I would have preserved in case to like bluff. What if I have a neutral like Energy Ball in case you swap hard into it?
That's very true.
Instead of just saying like Shadow Ball is all I have to hit this with or whatever.
Yeah, you do outspeed though unless Pelipper is scarfed. But before he went for the Shadow Ball, do you think that maybe he was afraid of a Scarf Hurricane or something?
I think he was trying to hit Bronzong.
Not so much afraid, just like really hoping he doesn't have it.
Yeah, okay.
For that specific time, just like please don't Hurricane me and kill me. Or be faster than me.
Well, that makes sense. But do you think he should have brought a Hidden Power Electric or something, an electric move or Thunderbolt or whatever? Do you think he should have brought an electric move? Because you know Pelipper is coming at this point. When you see the bosses, yeah.
It would have been helpful as like a backup in case the plan he ended up going for didn't work out. It did work out, but as like a point of like on principle, I would have brought it.
Yeah, and I think staying in here as Pelipper is kind of risky, seeing as Gengar does not only outspeed, but it can learn electric type moves. So staying in here is actually pretty risky, because if Pelipper goes turn 1, then that's what you have to work with as the Mega Swampert, right?
Yeah, I think he was with Con, right?
He was with Conberry, the Pelipper?
I don't remember if we...
I cannot remember that, but we'll see as the match goes on. Okay, so he takes... What's that? 47%?
Yeah.
No special D drop. Scald's back. Scald and Rain actually does a lot more, and he reveals that he's Black Sludge.
So if I saw Black Sludge on Gengar, I would immediately think that it's either Taunt or Perish Trap. That's what I would immediately think.
Yeah, because most are like maybe Life Orb set or maybe even like Specs or something.
Usually Choice, Orb, or Sash.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on a bit though. He goes directly into Swampert on the Sludge Bomb. He is not immune with Levitate because Levitate is no more. Look at how Tangela tanks that Ice Punch, bro.
Yeah, it's Tangela for you.
Yeah, so Boss made the right play, but Slayer just made the better prep.
Yeah, because I think if Ice Punch does that much to Tangela, you can safely say that Tangela just outright stalls this Mega Swampert. which at this point is Boss Mania's like one of the 2 win cons that he has on this team.
Tangela has a strong special attack too, so it's not just a stall. It could outright kill Swampert here.
Mm-hmm.
It can do a lot. Depending on his spread, it could kill.
It can actually swap in on Ice Punch if healthy enough and threaten Swampert the following turn. Because 2 Ice Punches does not kill unless it crits. Let's move on. So he forces in the Bronzong here. Probably has to go for the Giga Drain there. Does not want to risk it.
I mean, it's Regenerator, right?
Yeah, and he loses nothing switching in. Rocks goes up on both sides, and he gets the Toxic off on the 90% chance on Swampert there. Sets Swampert on the timer, and well, we do know he has Heal Bell in the back, but we don't know it at this point in the match, right?
So here's the thing. When I was watching this the first time, I considered this move highly questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing I was thinking is, I see a Chansey and I see 2 physical attackers. So what's your plan for the Chansey? As we learn later, he did have a pretty interesting plan for it. But at this point, I was like, you're gonna let one of your 2 potential physical attackers whittle this thing down.
Yeah.
Get whittled down. Yeah. So I don't think that was. I didn't think it was ideal at first. Now looking back on it, I think it's probably the best mid ground is just to take the Toxic on Pert instead of risk either to take it on Pert or Manaphy, but taking it on Pert it worked out.
Because the thing is, like, what Boss doesn't know is that he is the Rain Dance set. It's pretty common, but like he doesn't know, right? It can be Tail Glow 3 attacks.
Yeah.
So for Boss Mania here, I would say like the Toxic on Pert is a pretty much, it looks like a win on paper, but he has Heal Bell and he has a switch for it, and he can also take it on Manaphy to get rid of it on Hydration later. Let's move on. Chansey comes in here. Crit Skull does nothing.
As expected.
Yes. Switches in Gengar on the rocks because he knows he can't take Seismic Toss will not hit. Gengar outspeeds though, but does not go for the attack. Crit Psychic comes in on Clef. Okay, so
I think we all know that was like Choice Tuba, right?
Yeah, that's I think that's Scarfoopa for sure.
It did a lot of Clef too with that crit.
Yeah, that's true. Is it Specs Hoopa? But I thought I saw it outspeed something. But it was a crit though, so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Scarf actually.
I think Specs would have done
kill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would have killed at this point. But what I'm surprised is with Gengar. I mean, he has to have noticed that it was Scarf. Because otherwise it's a free Shadow Ball and this thing just dies, right?
Well, it was a bluff. He didn't know.
Yeah.
So he couldn't risk it.
Exactly. He couldn't risk it. Goes for the Wish. Obviously reveals that he also has Pax Protect, which he has to go for this turn. Pelipper comes in, takes the rock damage. Protect fails because he goes for no move.
Something happens in the next couple of turns that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So immediately, Dragonite comes in on the Pelipper.
Yeah.
And it reveals that it's this weird set. It's sub lefty, and he goes for Toxic when the Swampert comes in.
Yeah.
Now that's a play. Now looking back on it, what we now know is that this is detail Dragonite, so this is a pure phasing set, but we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I didn't question this at first, but now what I want to know is why did he not Dragon Tail this? It seemed like he was kind of afraid to click it a lot of the time.
Well, that's true. He loses very little go for the Dragon Tail there. So I totally get what you mean, though.
And then it forces him out anyway, after he took all that damage. And then goes hard on Tangela, which gets frozen.
Yeah, it does get frozen. We'll see. We'll see it in play. Now Pelipper gets a free roost here. which is kind of interesting. Here comes the Dragonite, gets rid of the multi-scale, takes the damage, but reveals that it's leftovers at this point. What do you think when you see leftovers Dragonite?
I think, what in the world am I looking at? Leftovers Dragonite it's something that you don't really consider. It's probably, if I saw it, I would be like, this is probably something.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably some variant of some sub variant.
You would expect sub Dragon Dance, right?
Most likely.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe like sub extreme speed something. Something.
I mean, it's gotta be
probably.
some setup. If it's like sub offensive, it's gotta be some setup. But like, this is just what he had.
Exactly. We can take a quick look at what kind of setup moves he gets aside of Dragon Dance. I don't think it's that much actually. He gets Home Claws.
Sure not worth it.
Could be a power up punch set.
Also, arguably not worth it.
That's very true. So most likely a Dragon Dance set.
If it was sub DD, like offensive.
Let's pretend that this Dragonite would be +1/+1 right now. What would you think of this on paper right now then? Because you see, he's at 99%. Multi-scale is not back.
I would still I wouldn't have subbed if it was offensive. I wouldn't have brought it in.
No, because Swampert still outspeeds because of the rain, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have even brought it in.
No.
If it was offensive.
Do you think?
If I was in Boss's shoes, I would just be questioning, why is this here?
Yeah.
And then I think immediately what kind of gets revealed, he clicks toxic, and then immediately the whole thing switches, and you're like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
It's defensive, and you just kind of immediately know.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Dash, when you so far?
I think what you guys said was pretty accurate. Like,
yeah.
I don't have anything else to add right now.
No, that's cool. Do you think Dragonite coming in the first time was good, or do you think you should have spared it and not brought it in the first time at all? Just generally.
That's the problem. That's the problem in hindsight. It's kind of hard to say, because obviously he knew what he was doing. He was sacking off the right things at the right time, and sure he could have preserved this, but I trusted his judgment.
That's true. And since it's a defensive Dragonite, I guess it doesn't cost him that much bringing it in either. All right, let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
He does set up the sub here. Gets the leftovers recovery, takes the ice punch. Like what he's doing here in my mind is he's stalling out the rain.
Yeah, that's clearly what it is.
And then he goes back into Tangela for the same ice punch shit as last time. This time he gets frozen though, so he can't Giga Drain back. Tempts the Swampert to stay in, but he switches out anyway. Doesn't want to risk it. Sets up the rain anew. And then roosts on the switch to Clefable.
And now we're in the cycle.
Yeah, now we're in the cycle. Heal Bell cures the Swampert poison and the Tangela Thaw, or makes the Tangela Thaw though.
Heal Bell was really a lot of times people will commit to full cleric sets when they don't have to. I think this is one of the games where if you bring it, you have to bring the whole package. So I think that doing that was really good prep.
Absolutely. Like
and
the thing,
it just kind of helped out.
Yeah, as you can see, he mean looked the Pelipper right here. And he's willing to take that Hurricane. Cursed Body makes it so Hurricane can come again. Poisons on the Sludge Bomb, and now kills off Pelipper. So this is the last rain you'll see from Boss. That's pretty huge, I'd say.
Oh yeah, that was big.
Yeah, and the way you can just tell. If you didn't know as a viewer from before, this is what I'm talking about. It's scarfed, right? Because he brought the Hoopa in on a Gengar. There's no way that's not scarfed.
I mean, he could have still been bluffing, but it's most likely at this point that it is.
Yeah.
Because nothing else that he would really want to do other than like putting Pert in that position, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And risking being found out or whatever.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Once you commit to the bluff, if you get found out, then Gengar just has a good time with Hoopa, you know?
Then it clicks Shadow Ball and just kind of hopes you don't go Chansey.
Yeah. Or even Sludge Bomb also does massive damage if it's kind of like a last ditch effort.
It does decent damage.
It's kind of weird how regular Swampert doesn't get Swift Swim though.
It has a decent hidden ability.
Damn,
Not great.
it's not great.
Yeah, a little below decent.
Yeah, it's
not great, but
if
it's
you get
usable. Actually, I was about to say in the gen it came out, it was usable, and then I remembered that it did not come out in DPP.
No, it did not come out in DPP. When did it come out again? Wasn't it the Gen 5 hidden ability?
Yeah, Gen 5 hidden abilities.
Yeah, that was
been
huge.
Useful in DPP, though.
Hidden abilities was
the
huge.
only times I got damped to work were by accident.
It's one of those.
That should tell something about Damp's viability, though.
I mean, Explosion's not around in the metal. So.
No, it's basically
especially Draft League.
No, the only thing I would see Explosion here is Bronzong.
So yeah, you just kind of expect Torrent.
Yeah. What? Oh, I'm very interested in this. Back in DPP, Bronzong is seen as kind of like a good rain dance setter. What do you think of how if it was the what's it called, the rock, the item, the rain extender, and then rain dance Bronzong?
Yeah.
Damp rock.
See, I was actually considering that.
Yeah.
I was considering that as an option, but you never know. I was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop on that one.
Yeah.
Just kind of see if it was or not.
Cause to me, it's like Boss Mania has a better time trying to sweep with Mega Swampert if he has multiple rain setters. In my eyes, at least. Because once your Pelipper goes down, what is Mega Swampert's viability, right? It's like nothing. It doesn't get any priority either.
It's not nothing, but it's much lower.
Yeah. Well, if you can't pressure the Tangela, then you're pretty much done for. The thing that I see here, though, so far is that the rain is working against his own Volcarona. It kind of sets it so that Volcarona has to come out of time and that rain is now. If you get what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Let's resume.
It's one of those. It's just like you kind of have to. Once you see it, you just have to accept that.
That was a really good protect. Yeah, I get what you mean totally. That was a really good protect right there. The thing is that he knew he was scarfed and he wanted to scout what he was going for, so now he can play appropriately. He probably wants to switch predicting the boss switch. Either that or he has to go into something that can both predict his switch and something that can take a psychic. Chooses to let the swamp go though. Get a clean switch into Clef of all things to get the wish off. And then he switches into Chansey on the protect. He has to go for protect here. He has no other option. And then
he could be a man and just attack what's in front of him, but
I mean,
Moonblast, not really gonna do too much.
No, that's true. All it has is it doesn't even have Moonblast. It has Hidden Power Rock. So
that is yikes.
That's pretty interesting. It does provide a lot of pressure for Volcarona, but anything besides that is not doing anything. Maybe a little bit of damage on Pelipper, but yeah. Now this is just a free wish on boss's side. Because even if this comes in and takes a Shadow Ball, doesn't die, and gets back to full HP. Which is insane. And here comes the same scenario for the third time. Tangela pressuring Swampert.
Just kind of existing in that space, and Swampert can't touch it.
Exactly. It has a lot of pressure in prep, and it has a lot of pressure in just being in the team. Sleep Powder's the Bronzong.
See, that's an interesting... this Tangela has a couple moves that I think are interesting. Sleep Powder is one that I didn't expect, but I'm not surprised to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised by any means. Just kind of like, oh yeah, it has Sleep Powder.
The good thing is that now that Bronzong is Sleep Powder powered, powdered is that now Volcarona could actually come in here for free. But I
Well,
guess
he goes into he immediately. The thing I think that he should have clicked was knock, so he could preserve the sleep if he had to,
Mhm.
and then he immediately goes into Hoopa and he knocks that turn, and Hoopa dies, and it reveals that it was in fact Scarf,
Mhm.
but Hoopa just straight up died to that knockoff.
Exactly. Because
So that
there
was the
goes the
whole.
knockoff, revealing the scarf. The thing
And
here
then he
that I
brings
would,
in.
yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, he brings in Chansey now. He brings in Chansey, and then he wishes, and then doubles out the Volcarona. I would have just gone Volcarona.
Yeah, I mean, it does
Bronzong
make
is
it so.
sleep. Um,
I mean, yeah, but it does make it so Volcarona comes out at 50, at 100% HP instead of 50. Does it not?
that's true, but what's Tangela gonna do?
No, it's more like what's Gengar gonna do?
If he just quivers on it, he can't. If he quivered on it and he could hurt like Dragonite at all, then it probably would have gone a lot better.
Yeah, but
Because you look at the
let's
defense
pretend
on it.
this is the scenario right here. If he clicks Quiver, Gengar just goes for the Perish song. And then it's at the same scenario it's going to be in a moment, just with 50% HP instead of 100. Is it that
If
not
he
the case?
quivers on, not if he quivers on Tangela. If he sends it in on Tangela once Hoopa dies.
I also think he should have done that. I also totally think he should have switched it in on Tangela at some point and got a free quiver. Once the sleep powder was in Bronzong, I think that's where you go into Volcarona. And as seeing as this doesn't get Rock Slide either, it really makes it so Tangela struggles with pressuring the Volcarona and makes it so that it can easily get to +1.
Boss is a young player. I don't actually think he knew that Gengar wasn't just a strictly offensive Gengar yet.
I mean, that can be true. The thing is, like, if you imagine this scenario right here, just with Volcarona at +1, +1, +1, then it would be an entire different game, don't you think so?
Yeah, it would be.
Because then now it,
Depending on the main set,
yeah,
because it comes down to the and if he set in his last move and his item. We don't see his item. I imagine that it's probably Z. So if
Manaphy?
he's no, I mean on Volcarona.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So if he's the Manaphy, he could legit win from there.
that's true. Because I think if this was at +1, +1, +1 this point, you know Gengar isn't scarfed. Now the tables have turned. It's Volcarona pressuring that Gengar. And if that Volcarona does miss Fire Blast and or has Fury Dance and gets another boost and kills Gengar, then I can guarantee you it sweeps from here. But what happens instead is that this gets mean looked, gets to 100% HP. That's the world we live in here. And there comes the play. Perish song on the Quiver Dance. That's so huge in my eyes. Because now we're at in the scenario that we just talked about, Volcarona being at that +1, +1, +1, but instead of being at 50% HP, no Perish, it's at 100% HP Perish, which is a huge difference.
Yeah, I think honestly that it's a big deal, but not to say that he couldn't have stopped it if it came down to it.
Exactly, and that mean look is a part of it too, because he can't switch out.
Yeah, that is a big part of it.
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
can't switch out, but he's kind of forced to give up his sweep opportunity here.
Yeah, he's forced, and he can't switch out either. He's forced to attack at this. He's forced to just fucking go all out with this Volcarona right now, and just try to switch it out as fast as possible before the perish ends.
Well, see, he would be, but what Slayer does here is Slayer switches out Gengar into Dragonite. I don't think that was a good play, personally.
No,
but
I think just let the Gengar go.
I think it kind of I think that it honestly kind of trapped Boss in kind of a no-win scenario because now he can switch, but if he does switch, they're gonna switch to like it makes you think that because you can preserve it now, that you could try to sweep later.
Yeah,
But
as
really,
you can.
there's nothing else here. Like the Tangela is just gonna sit there and die.
Yeah.
The Tangela is the only thing that we think that you could set up on.
Yeah.
Because it is fully cleric clef, but that clef could still pack the yellow color.
Yeah, and not only yellow color, as you see, it has the surprise of HP Rock, which would have been detrimental to the Volcarona, because Slayer recognizes that Clefable and Tangela being the only two mons that he actually can set up on. He actually covered one of those with a hidden HP Rock, or HP
Right.
Rock, I mean. So boss could have on paper it looks like you can set up on this Clefable, but it packs HP Rocks, which would be in the favor of Slayer. But Tangela doesn't really have that opportunity. It can pack an HP Rock as well, but it's unlikely.
Do we have the calc for no special attack HP Rock versus +1 special defense?
Oh, it's 4 special attack. Get it right. I can calculate right now if you want to.
Yeah, those 4. I mean, that makes such a big difference.
Yeah. Okay. So if we plug in this, right? And then we go like that, and then we go only Clefable there, and then what's it? Volcarona. Bulky Quiver Dance. Should we give it the benefit of the doubt?
No. Just make it like a simple set.
Okay, max speed, max special attack. HP Rock does 51% minimum.
51 minimum.
51 minimum.
That is interesting.
That is very interesting, because if this is at +1, the special defense, it why doesn't it change? Why doesn't it change?
Oh, it's unaware.
Oh, it's unaware. Okay, that's good.
This set's unaware. He ran Magic Guard.
This set's unaware. That's very interesting. But this set is Magic Guard?
No, it's unaware. It's unaware. I thought it was Magic Guard, but
no, it says here that it's unaware, which is pretty interesting, because a cleric set would be more beneficial with Magic Guard, but he recognizes that Boss Mania probably has the setup to sweep, so Slayer got a lot of things right in prep here.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I don't
know. It's not a surprise that he's 3-0. Like, if you watch all of his replays, he gets his predictions right, like on what his opponent's gonna bring.
That's scary. It's very scary. I don't know if it was Quiver Dance in specific. He prepped for, as you can see from the rest of the team here. Let's see. It's probably Havalucha, maybe. That it's for, actually. But it's not. It has to be Quiver Dance, because it's not physically defensive. Did he just prep his Clefable around that Volcarona?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he preps each mod. Like, he only preps for the 6 that he thinks is coming. He doesn't prep for
That's really interesting, because so he solely dedicated this Clefable to get rid of that Volcarona, as well as just secondary duty of a Wish Heal Bell. That's very interesting. Okay, that's very good. Very good. Interesting, but very good.
2018 Rookie of the Year for a reason.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's well deserved. I can see that. Well, okay, so so this is where everything turns on its head. Because Manaphy's at +3, and it's Thunder Wave. And this is where it's like either you have the Rain Dance set and you're fine, or you don't and you're not good. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like if you that was the whole game basically. Can you beat Chansey? And if you can't, then may as well forfeit.
Yeah, exactly. Because it does get paralyzed here, which is semi-huge. But he reveals, in fact,
that he does have it.
That he does have it, the Rain Dance set. So he just wants to set up here, because he knows
Going
that
for glow instead of rain dance is kind of scary though.
that it is. It does.
It is kind of scary. He could definitely get yellow colored and then lose.
He should have just clicked rest as soon as possible, so he gets the full and then start setting up from there from a higher range, because it forces Chansey to go for T-Wave again, which is just immediately clear by hydration. And then +4 Manaphy just, it's Manaphy. Do I need... Bronzing is asleep. Nothing outspeeds because Volcarona isn't set up. And oh, look at this, right? Isn't that typical? Right as the turn that Mega Swampert comes in, rain ends. So Manaphy naturally outspeeds.
I mean,
It
he
all-
couldn't have killed it anyway.
No, that's true, but he could have gotten a crit. You never know. It's Pokemon.
We do have the spread. We can look at it.
No, we don't have the Mega Swampert set. But we'll just assume. We can just assume, right? We do have the fortune of having the Manaphy set right here. So what we do is we do this Manaphy, and then we just go standard Mega Swamp.
It's only doing like 60.
Is it? Oh, the Z. I mean crit. No Z. Okay, so it's not killing anyway.
Yeah.
Because he has defensive and HP investments. This man right here.
Well, you gotta run both. If you're gonna go mono skull, you gotta run both.
Yeah, that's true. But investing even your nature in defense?
Yeah, that's why he went for the extra tail glow.
I mean, he could have placed that tail glow at a better time, but it was necessary. It dies. Comes in, does not outspeed, is not a +1, or it wins the speed tie rather, or it does not, because this does not have any speed investment. That's the crucial thing here. Volcarona outspeeds, and with like an earthquake.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Neutral. It does not have a chance to kill still because of the investment. That's insane.
Did he say prematurely GG? Did Slayer already know?
But he said GG because
No,
the game
boss
was over.
said GG because he was like, it's +4, but it wasn't actually that much over as you would think. Because Volcarona wins the speed. It can crit on a Bug Buzz. And
If it was,
yeah. Slayer just had the perfect Manaphy spread.
I guess we'll actually assume that he was Lum or something. If he did
The perfect everything spread. If you think
And if
about
this
Gengar, Tangela,
The thing is,
they were all like perfect.
if we assume that this is Z2, right? If it's Z
if
Bug
it
Buzz,
was Z, he would have clicked it.
yeah. But maybe not because he thought the game was over. Because he thought that it didn't matter. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, you still click it.
Yeah, it's still
It
clicking.
feels good clicking Z move.
He saved it.
That's true. Well, and then goes the Scald, and that's the game. Oof.
This is very
Manaphy is actually an MVP candidate right now in the race.
Absolutely. It did a lot of work. It scooped out 4 kills. But I do think Boss Mania had one or two chances of winning. One chance of winning this game with his Volcarona. I guess if he got to set up right after Bronzong got Sleep Powder, going out into Volcarona, setting up, and then just go from there. Because Manaphy doesn't have any speed. He doesn't know that, but he's gonna stumble upon that matchup anyhow if he's planning on sweeping Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about sweeping. You have to encounter every single mod in the opponent's team to fully sweep.
Here's a little fun fact about these two. Going into the season, both of these players were undefeated as far as I've seen. Like,
you've never seen them lose, both of them.
Yeah, up until this fight, yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually. It does dirty Boss Mania's score a little, but I'm sure he can bring it back if he's a good player. that's match of the in-depth match of the week. And we want to thank. I want to thank our special guests. First and foremost, thank you for helping me cover this.
Oh, thank you for inviting us.
Hey, it's cool. And without further ado, let's just go over to the next segment. All right, so look at this. All right, so look at this. Look at this. All right, so look at
This
this.
is number 5?
Yeah, this is number 5. Look at this.
Number 5.
Is HP Ice Glide Score even a thing?
Well, HP Islando is certainly a thing.
Okay, Aqua Tail Glide Score, is that a thing?
It has been.
When?
I've seen it.
When is Aqua Tail Glide
Right
Score?
now.
Gen 4?
Right now.
Right now, baby. We're creating the meta right now. Quiver Dance, you won't? Oof.
Yeah, he didn't.
Oof. Why didn't they skill swap right here, though? Just take the poison heal. Oof.
I mean, it would have been good play, but then he reveals, and then he doesn't. Then he probably doesn't ever stay in with Mawile, and he
No,
can't.
that's
Exactly,
true. That's
yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Quiver Dance, you bitch. You won't. Quiver Dance, bro. Quiver,
If he
quiver.
quivered ever, he could have won.
He quivered here, bro. He quivered here. 9%. Isn't that a little late?
Unless he has Giga Drain.
He does not have Giga Drain.
Jasper told me at the beginning of the season all he wanted to do was have Shoutout be a top 10 kill leader. And I think he has 4 kills, so he's doing all right.
It's dead. It's definitely dead. It's definitely dead. I killed his Shoutout.
Yeah, he got 2 kills, though.
It got 1 kill.
Oh, really?
Got 1 kill. Not killed.
I thought I got both of them.
No. It did it? No. No, because Diancie got the other one.
Oh, okay.
It came close, but I would have never let it. Because it would have just died to Ice Shard.
Headphones went out. Yo. What'd you say? Did you say anything? Or am I delusional? Ooh!
That was just so dumb.
Yeah.
That whole sequence was just so dumb.
Exactly. That's very true.
Ooh, and Crobat woke up. Everything that could have went wrong here.
If you think Shoutout is viable, I think there's something that you need to seek therapy or something, dude. Did you see Air Slash from Crobat? Just
Shoutout is more viable than Exploud. Prove me wrong.
Exploud can boom burst things and kill them.
This can boom burst things and not kill them.
Exactly.
It's just a different perspective. That's all it is.
You gain more momentum from a Shoutout kill than from an Exploud kill.
Dude, it didn't do a single % of damage to the Crobat either, because it doesn't outspeed.
Also, Exploud literally just it has Scrappy.
Yeah, this is just heavy BM. Like Z moving on the last turn. God damn.
I don't think it's heavy BM, but it is BM.
It is BM. It's not heavy BM. You have Air Slash, bro.
Bow movement?
Okay, play number 4. Let's see. Okay. Let's get this bread. Ignores. Okay. So let's talk us through the thought process here. You get flinched, and then what?
Then I love Charizard, so I couldn't let him go out like that. So I had to put in Blastoise, the less superior starter of Gen 1. And
you're joking.
And I knew Blastoise knows how to dodge, so that makes sense.
I feel like you're just the kind of player that just like, ooh, nice colors. Let me just put this in and see what it does. No offense though.
He really is. He really.
Dragon Tail right there. Oof, gets the unlucky Dragon Tail right there. Ooh, Sludge Bomb, you won't? Ooh.
That was a good predict. That's actually when I lost right there.
Dude,
because
I don't
Money
even
Red.
know why you made that play.
Dude,
what?
We all know you had it. We all know you're running AV Weavile. You're Sludge Bomb.
You're on one end, you're right, but I I wanted it to be completely healthy to take on Ferropex because it was my Ferropex counter of the week.
If you had
It had
9,000
HP.
IQ,
I'm gonna
It-
say
it was
I'm gonna
HP
say
fired.
this. I'm gonna say this loud and clear so everyone hears me. If Weavile is your Ferropex counter, you have
Did I say
already
Weavile?
lost.
I said Espeon.
that's
Did I
true.
say Weavile? I meant Espeon.
Yo, but what I'm saying is, what you should have done is do the big brain play. You should have had synchronized as beyond, switch in on this sludge bomb right there, and transfer the poison. The 10,000 IQ play. That's what you should have
I
done.
mean,
Am
that
I
was-
I
wrong
don't think
though?
a poison.
Am I
I don't
wrong
think a
though?
poison Thundy would slow it down much.
No, but am I
yeah,
wrong
that would
though?
have been the Galaxy brains.
you would have been fucking it up, bro. That's
would've
one
been
threat gone. You know, you lost the game turn one with Megalob lead. You brought it back with the the Blastoise like
The
left
dodge.
right dodge, yeah, and then you fucking lost it again once he predicts you one time.
That's why we bring it back because I'm not done yet. I bring it back again.
Let's
One right.
let's
Why
get
is
this
this-
bread though. Oof.
Why was this not your answer?
Traces
And
that
he's
magic
like,
bounce.
"Guys,
See,
he's
if
like,
you had synchronize here, this is what I'm talking about.
Why'd you gleam? What are you doing?
When did I gleam? Hold up. Yeah, I don't know why I gleamed. Maybe. Oh wait, I think I gleamed, so I didn't reveal Shadow Ball. Wait, what? Oh shit.
Why'd you do any of these moves?
Something is off here, bro. You should have just Shadow Ball on the green turn. Do you think he's gonna switch in Megalop on an Espeon at 37%? Ooh.
Gave it to him.
There's that no viable switch to return, baby. Oh, it's that HP
Yeah.
fire. Oh, that's a strong man.
Ooh,
Ooh.
look at that. Look at
And then he
all
goes
that-
Toxapex and then you do nothing.
Alright, if I was here, I would have put a GG in chat right now.
And see, he poisoned, but I was quick feet, so it was all good.
You're quick feet against the Thundy. Why are you not Volt Absorb, bro? Jeez. He
I
knows.
need to outspeed Lopa.
Alright, yeah, this game is legit over now.
You still take toxic damage, bro. It would be so much more viable because he doesn't know. He doesn't know, right? He thinks you're Volt Absorb, so he's not going for that Thunderbolt. Oh,
Yeah.
nice one.
He was literally nice predict.
Then he just goes Toxapex and you do nothing.
Could have literally just clicked HP Ice.
Is
you know.
there is a reason Toxapex is? That's
Yeah,
the
that's
only
right.
thing you can do. Is
Now I got
drag
the HP fire in the sun.
Stop! Oh, the Blastoise! Oh my god, somebody help me, man!
Alright, good job.
I got the Blastoise HP fire in the sun, we Gucci. It's not like the sun is fucking up my Hydro Pump, let's go!
Trying to get that freeze on the toxic effects.
Can't
You're
do
fucking
this.
killing me, bro.
Can't.
You have HP fire on this as well?
Ooh, charge beam. Now I'm in a good position. I'm quick feet. I'm charge beam.
You're +1,
This is
and you do nothing.
You're already dead.
Jaraball partly kills this as well. Oof! Now you're in trouble. That's the
Now I
Toxapex again.
dance.
Against
Now,
Haze.
see, this is where I fucked up.
You got fucking taken to town, bro. He has toxic every single thing you have, and he's not even toxic spikes. Yikes, bro.
Why'd you let him run all over you, dude?
It's fine, bro.
Yeah, but I had roost.
Gets toxic. Do you have HP ground on this?
No, I had EQ.
Oh, that's true. You're physical. There's nothing. Oh, that's a shame, bro.
Hey,
That's a shame, bro. You're taking it with a good sport. That's what we like to see. There's no wonder Toxapex is number 4. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that tectonic rage.
Good
Oof.
job.
Almost.
Almost 50%.
And it's not like
Hey.
you can switch out and get 33% back.
lesser men than me would have pressed GG and left.
Dude, lesser men than you would have fallen by now.
Dash, are
Good
you a
for
porn star?
good for battling out with a good sport though.
Dash, are you a porn star? Because you just got fucked like one.
I'll give that
It
an
is the-
applause, dude. All right,
This is a
let's.
PG server.
Oof, the U-turn on the U-turner. When you bamboozle
Lux
the
versus
bamboozler. Oh, another U-turn. Another U-turn. Let's go.
Another one.
Oh,
Wait,
Another
this is an
one.
interesting battle.
Oh, that's like the fourth U-turn we've seen so far. Yo, I love Embor in this match. I was gonna make that play of the week if it didn't fucking lose.
you're gonna click the button, it's gonna lose.
This is
Mr.
this
Draco.
is
Nice
this
miss.
is an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
This is the tuning exam champion, the guy who Lux, who was the last person to make it to Togetis division,
Mhm.
and then we have Pythons, who is the Castle champion.
I
Ooh.
don't know what Castle is. None of these people. I don't believe Castle exists.
I don't believe
Will
it,
you let me
Barrington.
finish?
I don't think anyone's
Will
ever
you let
heard
me
of it.
finish? Will you let me finish? Before Farm, there was a castle, and
No.
Pythons won it.
No such thing. There was no such thing. It didn't exist.
Is that Shuckerberry circuitry against no ground types? Does this man have 10,000 IQ?
Yes.
He brought Shuckerberry, and he has no Lux has no ground types on his team. It's probably for prep though. Moltres comes
Which
in.
is Lux.
Bullet punch,
I
you
just
won't.
played Lux, so I should know
Bullet punch, you won't.
what ground Pokemon he has.
Fucking bitch. Sorry. Oof. Dude, I'ma just bleep myself. Oof, is that hidden power fighting? No.
So are you just gonna like only put in the funny jokes?
Yeah. Which is basically only my jokes.
Wow. Don't flatter yourself.
Yeah. Look at this. Is this Bandit? Bandit Megahorn. No, this knockoff. Okay. But I think this is choice in some way.
I had to. He had
Yeah, it crits
Specs
right there.
in week 4.
Specs knockoff?
No, I mean in week 4 he had Specs.
Oh, in week 4. Okay. Recycles the Iapapa berry. Oof, that's the threshold. Daddy ain't having that.
What's the play of the week in this one? What does
It's
Thundy
Thundy. You'll see.
What does it do?
You'll see.
Let me see.
Thunder brings it back single-handedly. We can actually skip some turns. This is not doing shit.
The better and being the better Thunder.
Press bullet punch. You won't. You're dead.
If he was quick attack, he would have done some damage right there.
That's true.
I don't.
It's
believe
scarfed.
so.
It just outsped Latios. Am I seeing things? What?
Yeah, you're right.
Wow, that was a very impressive play from that one might say from that that samurai. If only one of us.
If I can't look at a replay properly, I'm scared to think of what I can do in battle.
I'm glad he's talking over you, 27.
If only one of us recently had any experience fighting and losing to a samurai, they could offer some more insight.
It's true.
If only.
I've
if only.
never seen a samurai in Draft League before.
You ever seen a samurai get 3 kills?
No. Is that next week? Spoilers?
2 weeks from now.
Okay. Maybe that's low tier mon of the week in 2 weeks then. But not now.
All I know is I'm in a lot of game of the weeks.
No, shut your ass
up. In the WWE, we would call me a workhorse. I make people look good. I sell my shots.
We would call you a jobber.
That's what they call it in WWE too.
In fancy terms, we would call you what's the word that's opposite of selfish? You take everyone and push them ahead of yourself.
Selfless.
Selfless. Yes, you're very selfless. You're giving people the spotlight, and we at the GDLB we appreciate you. Look at this. What's play of the week, by the way? Boom.
He plays the role of a selfless person so he can win his Oscar.
But what I don't know. Lux has to have calced that. Look at this. Last turn. Look, like, oh, whoops. Okay, so he kills this. Crit. Does not matter.
It definitely mattered.
No.
Yes.
No. Thunderbolt goes
Yes.
again? No, I don't think it does. Okay.
Yes. He
Why?
put knockoff there. That mattered.
Yeah, true. Okay, so look at this. He has to know that Thunderbolt does not kill at this range, because he frisked. Look at this. He frisked the choice band, so he knows his choice band. So why doesn't just go for Thunderbolt here? It has to be because it's not guaranteed kill. So either he superpowers for the minus defense, or he Flare Blizzes right there and loses the game. And there we go. Thunderbolt right there. Play of the week.
I mean, hey, that was good set. That was good play.
Time for the
commercial break.
Time for the commercial break.
Brought to you by our special guests, truly. We have the most glorious match of the century, the 1v1 of all time.
Do you remember what we bet on this? I remember what we bet on this.
The championship. It was the F.A.R.M Championship. The finals is bet on this.
Yeah, this is honestly the F.A.R.M Championship. This is the best division right here. Bush division, let's game.
Why don't you have a 1v1 division or like a 1v1 like conference?
Oh, we tried it, but I steamrolled it.
Just like you steamrolled Dash in this play, huh?
We'll see. Hey,
no
spoilers.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
You know how Dialga and Palkia battled to create the world or some shit?
Yeah,
that's basically what this was.
I think that behind the scenes you were like, okay, so if we ever meet in finals, the winner of this just gets free finals.
But Dash will have to get there first.
Road to 8 and 4.
Hey,
Road to 8.
It's called planning ahead.
Road to 7 and 5. Road to 6 and 6.
Okay, let's see it. No. Let's do this slow, bro. This has to be enjoyed. These plays. It's shiny Rapidash. It's shiny Shaman. Me Bruda and Black.
Ooh, I knew he had some shenanigans, so I had to go for the bounce. I dodged that.
Ooh, we dodged those paralysis, baby. And you don't get parried here, which is pretty sad. 3%. What are you doing, Dash? Like, just quick attack, bro.
Hold up. Did I have Life Orb or was he Rocky Helmet?
You had Life Orb.
Damage?
Life Orb.
That was a young Dash. I should not have done that.
that was back in my old days, back in my Wii old days. I was not experienced. Not experienced.
What year was that?
That was 26.
I'm pretty sure this was in DPP, bro. It had to have been.
This was just
this was still Aura.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And presented to you by our lovely cast is the two plays in one. So we're just gonna like look at this. Shadow Ball, play of the week. No, not really. Okay, so the essence here is Swampert versus Swampert, and the better Swampert wins. That's just the fact.
They both die.
Look at this, Tank Boys.
If you know anything.
Why don't you sleep powder here, boy? Sleep powder, boy. Sleep powder. You go for Giga Drain. Sleep powder, boy. Ice Punch does nothing. Sleep powder. No. Okay, Stealth Rock, Toxic. Let's get this on the way, bro. Oof, 5%. Mom always told me to bank on a crit if the roll doesn't kill. Ooh, that's the HP recovery. It's the Star Wars. Oof, Dragonite play, 99%, no multi-scale, substitute, Ice Punch. Are you guys there? Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Ooh, the freeze though. Udge. Says up the rain. Oof. Luckily, we're going to cover this game more in detail.
Yeah, we'll be covering it more in detail. Just a moment.
I don't know which time this is going to go in even, so maybe we've already covered it.
Cut that out.
Oof, that's the Sludge Bomb. The poison. The Hurricane. He just lets his Pelipper go, bro. Or was it mean luck?
It was. I think it was. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Okay, That makes
You have
sense.
a choice.
Just run Thunderbolt, bro. But it's understandable that you want both stabs. I mean, look, Parasong. Spoilers. Okay. Oof, there goes the best Swampert of the game. Oof, no, it's
The
not
good
strong
one.
enough. The best Swampert, the non-mega one. Oy. Alright, Wish. Here comes the Swamp. Oof, does not kill. That's 100%. That's a Tangela. We tank, boys. Like what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Now
honestly.
you sleep powder. Now you Giga Drain. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now you go for the sleep powder. You couldn't have done this like 15 turns ago. It's still a good play though. Takes Bronzong out of the man.
Horrible play. Horrible play. Maybe the worst I've ever seen. Honestly.
Oh, why so?
You can't be doing it. Very simple. You can't be doing it.
Look at this. You could have. Now it's me. Look.
Nice.
Oh, this is a fuck up right here. Perish Song is the play. Because it forces Volcarona to do something in 3 turns or it's chow. It can now switch out, but it like takes a Fire Blast, takes a Bug Buzz, and then it has to swap out into Chansey. Gets the this is where it goes. This is where it goes downhill fast. That Paralyze would have been a great play if it wasn't for the incoming move that's in a few turns.
Honestly, this is go for broke. One
Yeah.
of the 2 players wins if this Mon doesn't have the right move.
Mm-hmm. But it does. So.
But it does. So.
And it not only has the right move, but it has the right.
There's another right move.
Yeah, it has rest. It has another right move. It has 4 right moves. What do you know?
Yeah, it has the best move in the
Look
game.
at how +4 Skull doesn't kill that Chansey, bro.
Why did he T-Wave again?
I mean, if he went for Seismic Toss instead of T-Wave, that would have been enough for the roll. And you could have Bug Buzzed, or you could have gone into Mega Swamp, done the damage, gone into Volcarona and Bug Buzz, then killed it.
You're absolutely right.
I'm pretty sure it was over at that.
65%. 64%. I think he could have won that.
He would have had to save. He would have had to save Swampert for the end.
No, because that he couldn't.
Because he would have lost. Like he would have lost one of the 2.
He had to have gone Swampert before Volk because of the rain.
But wouldn't Gengar just kill it?
Gengar just kill what? This?
Wouldn't Gengar just kill Volcarona?
Maybe. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if Volcarona gets the +1 and survives something, maybe. I think actually.
I guess we'll never know.
Mistake was with the thing. The thing. I'm very.
Andy would have to hit the Tangela too.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Bug Buzz. I forget.
Yeah. Doing the setup on the Tangela, I think it was the right play here. That was the plays of the week. But we all know this deserved the week, the best play of the week. I hope you can. I honestly hope you can bring us some more 1v1s so we can have some commercial breaks for the future as well.
Honestly, I'll just win it all.
Hey, do a 1v1 right now. You won't.
Hey, we'll do. Hey, you think I won't? You think I won't?
Right now, you and Dash. Right now, for the championship. Right now.
Right now. Let's go.
Link me that.
Let's go. It's over. It's over.
It's not.
I'm gonna tell you already. You're done.
Oh, I need to see this. Who is it?
I really wish I brought Scizor instead. I also almost brought Incineroar.
This is so interesting. You both brought the same family. Okay. Before you start, why did you bring this?
Because I knew he would bring Scizor, so I brought a Scizor.
You knew?
I knew he'd bring either this, Weavile, Incineroar, or I thought he might bring a water type, and if he did, that's why I have one specific move.
Ooh.
But
You didn't think I'd bring a Emolga?
no.
Yeah, I should have.
You should have brought him Mulga with HP Fire.
No, I thought he was bringing Lopunny.
Oh, let's see this. Akashiwa Kai, Ryoko. You are so on. What's it called?
I think you can hurt me. Wait, why am I 393 attack?
You guys are so in line with each other. Like you are so on the same page. It's insane. You both have Japanese nicknames. You both brought the same family of Pokemon in the 1v1. But I think this represents how. Oh no.
Hey, it was close.
I think this represents.
It was close. You know you ain't getting a roll.
Oh,
It was really good.
No!
You don't have Roost?
I thought he would think I was going to Roost.
Oh my god.
I thought he was going to Roost.
Why wouldn't he just keep bullet punching? Oh my god. Don't lose your way. Hilda's cook? Why?
Listen, from a very long time ago, I was a different man.
Just know if I was Scizor, I would have fucked you up. And I didn't know he was murderous.
You absolutely would not have. You want to see that spread?
You better have HP Fire.
I so thought Megalop was coming. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too. That's what I was prepared for.
Your Caesar does. I don't think Caesar deals with it, bro. That's the set right there. Oof. Dash, do you have your set as well?
My set ain't nothing special.
I know.
Wait, which was
he knows I beat his ass at 6v6 though.
You absolutely would not.
When do you play in the regular season?
We don't play.
We don't.
But he posted the replay. He posted a replay that I want you to look at.
Okay.
It's the iconic match of us playing League.
Yeah, this is the one
It's
that
how
when we play, like when we discuss playing, this is the one that everyone thinks of.
Dude,
This is the first time we ever. This is the first. This was basically the day we met.
I'm so on board. Let's do this.
It's a little higher up.
Top 5 plays of the week presented to you by encouraging 1v1s following. You only get the highest top-notch level of play from the GDLB right here. This is what I'm talking
I
about.
cannot even believe that you were that set. That's so bad.
Hey, if I clicked Aerial Ace again and then Quick Attack, I would.
If you just, bro, if you had if you had attack investment, you clicked Aerial Ace twice and I died. I didn't know you'd be Scizor. You know the set I almost was? I have the other one.
Curse?
No, I'll show you.
Agility?
It's a different mon. This was the set that I was like, if you bring the type that beats me, I have no chance. But if you don't,
where's the replay at, boys?
He already posted it. It's
his set.
Okay, here's the set. This is the set.
I just posted it.
Focus plus Cephalon. What is this?
Beast Boost? Oh,
You're never. Well, it only has Beast Boost, but you're never going to have that Beast Boost.
Look, listen. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's take this play to the next level, boys. Talk about it.
All right, so he already knows what's gonna happen. He sets up rocks and then
Natural gift Yachiberry?
He loses his guard chop. And he tricks a scarf to me and he loses his question.
Hey, it don't work. Hey, Orenji was the MVP of that season. I want to talk about that.
It was not.
It didn't even KO. Oh no.
It had like 14 kills, bro.
Lagging tail trick. Oh god. You're is this Gen 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do get the Gale Wings without being full HP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't do that to Gen 7.
It was in rain, so that was all that mattered to me.
King Bronze.
I don't understand your names from back. I don't understand them at all.
Well,
That
as
game
far
took
as I
long.
know about not understanding nicknames, Skarmory does not get Moxie. So what's that about?
It was. It's hard to explain. It took several minutes.
I can imagine. Oh, the count. Ooh.
He switched out.
And then I was like, nope. Fuck all that. All right.
Notice the Thunderous lurking in the back.
Yeah, he's just popping in for a visit, popping right back out. The whirlwind
Get
magic.
the fuck out of here.
Oh, that tough rock.
Eat
slide.
this grass knot.
Oof, that's a sturdy brother.
Even kill.
But one thing that fucks him over, he didn't notice that his Dom fan was faster than my Espeon, so keep that in mind.
That Dom fan got tired quick.
I literally just clicked high jump kick.
Wow. Well, he doesn't have a switch, so it doesn't really matter. Oof, that's the Brave Bird.
He Brave Birded because I expected him to not predict.
He Brave Birded because you expected him to Brave Bird.
I expected him to just no.
This is where he fucks up. He didn't notice that I was slower than him.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would you? Because why would you?
And then kapow!
And he kills my Skarmory, right? And so at this point, I'm like, wait, what happened? So I think I've basically like I won.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even see the Weavile. Lol.
I'm basically like I've lost. Like there's no way I win.
I think you win still.
Nah, because he clicks Ice Shard and I die. Or Ice Punch and I die, right?
That's true. I thought Tentacruel would pack more of a punch.
And then,
ooh,
Ice
Shard.
Instead of Ice Punch.
Damn.
And then, in Brave Bird range, by the way.
Ice Punch! Double derp! Dude, it's okay. Thank you guys for showcasing your gameplay. This has been the elongated top 5 plays of the week, more like top 15 plays of the week. Thank you guys for providing that fire-ass content you have.
I didn't even realize this was still going.
Thank you for showing us your fire content, and we hope to see more of that in the upcoming weeks. Onwards to the next segment.
Thank you very much. As you all know, it's been me, your boy 27, and Dash, aka Young04.
And this is Soul. We are signing out of this segment. Onward to the next one. Go. Welcome everybody to the this week's rendition of the low tier Pokemon of the Week segment, where we show some love to Pokemon that never see the spotlight usually. Now, in this week's episode, we have Claydol as our feature, and I have Dash with me here right now. What do you think of Claydol?
Well, for this game that it's being referenced for, the first thing that comes to mind is it lived the knockoff, and usually when it hits a knockoff on a switch in, that's probably game over, and it's a waste of a mod.
Exactly.
But Claydol's bulkiness,
this
week really helped it.
Exactly. You don't have to think about it from this game in general. We just think about the mod in general and its potential.
Oh.
What do you think about Claydol as a Pokemon in general?
It's an underrated spinner. It also has Levitate.
Mm-hmm. Do you know any sets that you like on it? Have you seen any sets? Have you seen some play of it?
I use it a lot more basic than a lot of people, but 27 likes to use the Trick Room set with it. I think that's the most common.
Ooh, that's a spicy.
Calm Mind works a lot.
Yeah.
I think you were talking about how you use it for screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
really helps its bulk.
That's kind of like it has. I've listed some moves as you can see on the screen here. I've listed some moves, and some moves are more, how should I say, more valuable than others on this mon. But often you see Claydol as this kind of one-dimensional Pokemon. You draft it for the rocks and spin and low tier that you didn't pick up earlier. It has good bulk, and it has that crucial ground immunity, making it able to switch into strong ground threats. But the thing I noticed is how Claydol is mostly used for either Calm Mind Sweep, Trick Room Sweep, Stealth Rocks, or Screens. So that's 4 viable sets right there that you get in one mod,
Yeah.
right? Now we didn't see that much in this week, but I noticed how 27 brought Claydol, and I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get up Screens. But what do you think about that matchup if he got Screens up? Do you think it would change anything?
It would have really helped against the Watermons, because it seemed like Nanolord was prepped for Claydol, it looked like. Because he had 2 Watermons, he had a Grassmon, he had knockoff users.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is about Claydol, as you can see here, it has a lot of moves that you don't necessarily expect it to bring, which makes it kind of unpredictable in prep as well. I don't think a lot of people bring like Psych Up, Power Trick, or Power Split, Skill Swap. It also gets Wonder Room, stuff like that. It also gets access to all the weathers except
Grass
Hail.
Knot.
Yeah, Grass Knot that's kind of like a spicy kill that you can pick up on something.
Yeah.
It also has access to Solar Beam if you want to go like a Power Herb Solar Beam cheese.
I did not know.
That's kind of interesting right there. And having that crucial bulk as well as has 70 in both physical attack and special attack makes it so that you have that unpredictability in offense as well. You never know if it's going to be a special set or a physical set, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the perfect way to describe it is a phrase I use a lot. I call it a Salmon. In boxing, there's normal boxing and there's southpaw with left-handed fighters, and it kind of puts the other fighter off guard. And that's kind of what Claydol's purpose is. Besides being a spinner and dodging EQ and electric, it's also southpaw.
Absolutely, I would say so too. It has 2 immunities, which is pretty good. Now, in terms of like, you see, in terms of Claydol's weaknesses, what do you think when you think of Claydol's weaknesses? Why is this Mon low tier?
That's a good question, actually.
Because it's like it has access to Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin. It's not meant to be an offensive Mon. It has decent speed. It's not anything to brag about or write home about. But like, it has dual typing, which is often a good thing. But what I think makes this low tier is the fact that its speed is kind of awkward. Because when you have a bulky Mon, what you want is either you want high speed to be able to pressure with your speed tier, or you want low speed to be able to get that either slow U-turn, or which it doesn't get, or you can have that efficient Trick Room sweep. Because 75 is kind of like an awkward mid-tier speed. It's not really mid-tier, but it's that awkward in between kind of.
Yeah, that's very true, and it's kind of like good fodder for setup. Like if it's not the right set, it can easily be set up on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can be set up on. It does. I haven't listed moves such as Substitute or Toxic because they kind of say themselves. But it's like it's also weak to knockoff a lot that you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
if it loses
knockoff,
that light claim.
U-turn.
Yeah, U-turn. It's weak to U-turns. It's weak to knockoffs.
Which is really prevalent in OU, so.
That's really true. And in draft, the U-turn is very valuable as well. You often draft Pokemon. You can even draft low-tier Pokemon just for U-turn, you know? So, because if you cover everything else and you have like a spot that you need to fit, then just a solid U-turner does well for your core. So it doesn't provide any momentum in that sense, but.
What's his tier in Smoggin right now? Do you know?
I think it's NU. Pretty sure it's NU. And that's not like, it's not bad, right? But it doesn't provide that much of an offensive presence. If you really want to do a cheese strat, you do the power trick one, where you switch your defenses with your offense. That's kind of
also
like
a really obvious one that I didn't think of till right now is it doesn't get much recovery.
Yeah. That's the exact thing. That's a big thing about it. I do sorely wish it got recover. Because recover would help this Pokemon so much. It's a psychic type. It makes sense that it gets recover.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get recover, and it does not get pain split either. Which limits this.
You're right.
Yeah, which limits this to rest and leftovers. You can run like a rest chesto, I guess. But you have to like heal it up with wish or healing wish or stuff like that. Which kind of it does set it as a lower tier, but I still think it has potential, which is why we're featuring this week. So that's pretty much about how this segment is turning out this week. Thank you for watching as we turn on over to our next segment.
And with that said, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the GDLB. This has been Soul and Merk, who is not here at this moment, but we want to also give a huge shout out to the founders, Dashin27, for co-hosting this episode with us, and for the endless amount of support that you guys have showed us over the episodes so far. And we hope you stay tuned for next time. Thank you. Bye.